13 years ago today, Prince William announced to the world that him and his girlfriend, Catherine Middleton, were engaged. It was such an exciting time because we had been waiting for them to get engaged for so long. They had been dating for what, 7 or 8 years at the time. And we were all just wondering when William would finally pop the question. And when he did, it was so awesome because we saw her engagement ring, and Catherine's engagement ring, of course, was her mother-in-law's ring. Diana, the Princess of Wales, was definitely part of the celebrations via Catherine's engagement ring, this gorgeous blue sapphire engagement ring from Garrard's. And what Catherine paired that ring with, which I think has just become so iconic, was her sapphire Issa London dress. Yes, oh yes, Catherine's Issa London dress, it was perfect. It was the exact right color of sapphire. And what I think really makes the dress so iconic is that Catherine has only worn this dress one single time, which was to that engagement announcement. Now, she may have worn that dress privately at another point, but us, the public, have only seen that dress one single time. And I feel like we've all become attached to this. We all know that dress. And what's really crazy now is that Issa London actually went under. So the company no longer exists, and technically the wrap dress no longer exists unless you happen to purchase, like I did, one of the Issa London wrap dresses from the Outnet before or around the time that Issa London went under. The Outnet is a discount designer store, usually stuff from Net-a-Porter, and I happened to see this dress on there and I realized it was the Issa London dress that Catherine had. And I purchased this in 2010, 2011. So I've had this dress for as long as William and Catherine have been married. Just putting that out there right now. And I've probably worn it less times than the number of years Catherine and William have been married. I've probably worn this dress only a handful of times. But I feel like it's a piece of fashion history in a lot of ways because the company no longer exists. And again, it's that iconic dress that Catherine wore. And if you want to know, it is 100% silk. It's maybe got a snag or two here, which is terrible, but it is this gorgeous magenta color. I didn't quite get the sapphire. I did see the sapphire though, but it went in an instant on Net-a-Porter. And you can probably find it now on the Real. I've seen it come up from time to time, but I do really feel like I have an attachment to this dress. And I thought it would be fun today to not only show you guys this dress, in case you haven't actually seen it up close, what it looks like. And obviously it's not the right color, but it's still technically the correct dress. And then I'm gonna show you maybe some dupes that you can find that are kind of fun if you love this dress, because there is something about this dress I think everybody can like. So about this dress, obviously it wraps in front. Now I will say, when I have worn this dress, which is not often by the way, if you have a slimmer bust line, it'll emphasize it. But if you have a bigger bust line like I do, it'll make them look gigantic. So I tend not to wear this dress. And I wore sometimes a camisole underneath it. And I will say, unless you are stick skinny, this thing will show every single flaw you possibly have. Just to be totally and completely frank right now, it will. But it also is a really gorgeous dress. And the way it wraps is probably not obviously that exciting, but you have 2 strings right here and it comes apart in the front. And technically you could probably actually, and I have done this before, wrap it twice. Wrap it around the front, wrap it around the back, and then tie it in the front. I have actually done that. So there's 2 different ways you can wear it. Obviously Catherine herself wore it just once tied in the back. And there might be a way to like string some of the ties through, but I was trying to do that and I couldn't really figure out how to do it because this looks perfectly fine like this. So I don't know about that, to be quite honest. But it has also a side zipper. So in case you're wondering how you get in and out of it, there is actually a side zipper. I mean, obviously this is silk, so it has some give. And so if you were somebody who is tiny enough like Catherine, you could probably put it on without undoing the zipper. And I honestly could maybe get it on without undoing the zipper, but that is how you get into it. And as well, it just has this gorgeous V-line neck. It has this lovely skirt here, lovely ties, and again, 100% silk, and you feel the luxuriousness of it. However, because of the demand of the Issa London dresses and everything, the company ended up going under. And it also had ties to Dodi Al-Fayed's family. So because of that, actually, Catherine stopped wearing East London dresses before the company went under. She wore several. She wore this black one. She had another purple one that she wore in an official engagement. But since then, she has not delved into any of her East London pieces. We have not seen a single one since 2011. So that has been quite a long time. But I can see the appeal of these because they weren't too pricey. They were mid-range. And I want to say, and again, it's been 10 years. Or maybe less than that, because I think I actually got it when I was working somewhere. I remember that now. So it might have been around 2013 that I got this. Is that the company ended up selling the design, I think if I remember right, to Banana Republic. Now I did look and see the design on the Banana Republic and I didn't think it looked really any similar to this piece right here. But I think it is interesting that they did go ahead and sell it because again, it was just so huge. But the demand sometimes outpaces how the company can build. And sometimes it's sort of a recipe for disaster. I think somewhat similar things happened with LK Bennett because they did expand a lot because Catherine was wearing their things a lot. But I think they overdid it to the point where they had to contract. So you can expand and contract, but usually you want to expand and keep going. But if you expand and then you contract, that's not good. So I think this is a gorgeous, amazing piece, but obviously you can't really find it anymore. So I did have a couple of options that I purchased. All of them are for Nordstrom, and then I did get one from Bloomingdale's, but unfortunately the Bloomingdale's one did not come in time. So we are just stuck with our Nordstrom options, and I didn't realize it, but one of my Nordstrom options is the same dress in two different colors. I guess I wasn't paying that close attention when I ordered it, but I just thought I'd get a couple of blues and just show you guys maybe some options because I do think wrap dresses can be very flattering and they can also be great for the holiday season as well. And maybe if I can get myself in gear, maybe at some point, I will show you guys me in this dress. Would that be fun? I don't know if that would be fun. Honestly, you really do need to have a stick figure to make this thing look good. Just telling you that right now. So, but without further ado, let's go ahead and try a couple of these pieces on. And I think it'll be so fun. And I will go ahead and link the one. I wanted to get this Hobbs London dress. So Hobbs London is actually a company based in London. And actually, there was a dress I tried on and I should have gotten, but it was like still rather pricey. And I was like, oh, do I really want it? Do I not want it? And so I decided not to get it. And I do sort of regret that now. But actually the only way you can order Hobbs London of any pieces is actually via Bloomingdale's. And they're very British in their stylings and everything. So you just definitely get that British flair. So maybe at some point I'll show you guys how the dress ended up turning out. But without further ado, let's go to the first option. All right, guys. So this is the first option. And obviously it does not have the V-neck line. It does not have the actual wrap effect, but it has more of a mimicking wrap effect. It has this little drapey thing down here. And so I feel like it somewhat mimics this, although I believe this one is polyester. So it's not quite as fancy as 100% silk, but I do think it gives a nice silhouette. I do like the bell sleeves, although I'm not a huge fan of them. And I paired this with some Jimmy Choo pumps I got a couple years ago for like 120 bucks at Nordstrom Rack. Get amazing deals sometimes. I had a local Nordstrom Rack once that got just the craziest things in there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these are incredible. So I got a fantastic deal on these block heels because Catherine was wearing black pumps. Now I don't have tights on. I should have tights on, but I don't. I think that's okay. But I do think this dress is absolutely lovely if you're just looking for something that sort of has the Catherine effect, but maybe not quite, especially because some of these necklines can be a little revealing. So if you're looking for a more bust conscious option, this is option number one. This is the second option, and it has a bit more of that wrap effect here, and that there's a wrap that does go through. It does have the V-neck line, which the other dress did not have, but it also has this kind of flamenca little piece here, which this dress obviously does not have. But again, I think it's a similar silhouette, a similar effect, and these sleeves do go down all the way. Hi, Miss Pippa, do you like this dress? Do you like it? Oh my goodness. And so these do have long sleeves. This one has shorter, probably little longer than elbow length sleeves. So this one is lovely as well, but it's a more of a cobalt blue. Let's get to a navy blue. So option number three is the same dress, but in a dark navy. And I do like this one as well. If I was probably gonna pick between the two of them, I'd probably go with the navy just because darker blue sometimes is more flattering, but the bright blue is not bad as well. But this is another option that gives you sort of the similar silhouette. Again, it has a V-neck line like this one, has sleeves, but it has a little bit of that flamenco flair. And so I do think this one is an awesome choice too, if you want to recreate Catherine's look. Okay, I've got to say, this is the last one. And this one's probably my favorite. It's a little shorter than the other dresses, but I do love it. It has more of this tuxedo effect with the lapels and everything, but I do really like this one. I feel like this one is sleek and sophisticated, and obviously as well, these aren't quite exactly like Catherine's dress, but again, you can't find this anymore except for on the Real or Poshmark or some other place. And even then, I would be a little hesitant about going down that route because I think there's probably, maybe not a ton, but you could probably get some copycats or something. But I know this one is an original because I got it from the Outnet. So I'm really thrilled with that. But I really like this one too. It's probably a little shorter because this one hits at about at the knee, maybe a little bit lower, and this one's right above the knee. So this one's a little bit shorter. But again, I do feel like it has this very classy, chic look. Although obviously, depending on your bust line, it may let the ladies hang out a little bit too much for you. All right, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed taking a look at Catherine's iconic Issa dress, and hopefully maybe you can find a wrap dress of your own if you're interested, if you ever want to recreate that essential Catherine engaged look, because again, I feel like it's so stinking iconic. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.